Blog Talk Radio.
Are you tired of the same old radio?
Sure am.
Need an outlet to show who you are?
Oh, yeah.
You want to hear great TV reviews and original shows?
Sounds good.
Or just new ways to keep up on the Jags?
Let's go, Jags. Woo, woo, woo.
Join us on Teal Time Radio.
The station that matters. 'Cause you matter.
Good evening. Thank you for joining Teal Time Radio. I'm your host, CT Jags. Alongside of me, the beautiful Miss Chrissy.
Hey, everybody.
And tonight we have a very special guest. We have Capp from the Bold City Brigade joining us.
All right.
We will be getting in touch with him in about a minute here.
Yes, we're very excited.
Let all the fans know. I realize that it's late and probably a lot of people are sleeping now or whatever the case may be. You can always download us. Before we get them on the air, I do have to announce that we will have some great bloggers from everything from the Jags, Lizard Lick, music, you name it. And we also have a special local musician that this weekend is joining us.
Yes, he's a Spanish rapper.
Exactly. And I will have more details on that. All right, well, let's get into the show. Let's go ahead and let's call Capp. Now let's see if he actually picks up.
Hello?
Hey, Capp, this is Teal Time Radio. You're on the air. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing well, man. How are you?
We're doing fantastic.
We're glad to have you. We're real excited to have you on the show.
Exactly. Okay.
Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome.
All right. I want to first, say, for those that don't know what it is, especially those out in Jacksonville, what does the BCB stand for? And what does it mean in your opinion?
Well, BCB is the Bold City Brigade. And what we are is we are a kind of grassroots supporters group founded to support the Jacksonville Jaguars. Mainly the mission of our group is to kind of unite and be a vehicle for passionate Jaguar fans to come together and really organize and to organize the fan base and to take it one step further. We really kind of focus on the generation of fans that grew up with the team, the fans that were young when the team got here and now are really entering ticket buying age and, that are kind of becoming the backbone of the fans and the franchise at this point.
Oh, okay.
That's cool. That's very interesting.
So how long have you been a Jags fan, Capp?
I've been a Jags fan for, over 15 years now.
Wow. What made you become a Jags fan?
Well, I didn't grow up right in Jacksonville proper. I grew up a little bit south in the Volusia County area. But when the team came up this way, I was young when the team first got awarded to Jacksonville, and it was the closest professional sports team, other than maybe the Magic at the time. Definitely the closest NFL team. So I kind of got an interest. As I got older, became more interested in it. Moved to Jacksonville to go to college, and one of the reasons was because the Jags were here, and just kind of steadily has built over the years.
That's awesome.
So what was your first impression when you, if you remember, of when you went to your first Jags game?
The first Jags game I went to was, like I said, when I was younger, and I just remember the energy. I remember the passion and just how the fans in the city seem so excited about the team, and that's really kind of what we're trying to do with Bold City Brigade is try and harness some of that energy and encourage that energy again to, as the team is hopefully being built well off the field now, we're hoping that we're kind of putting something special together with the fans and trying to re-energize the fan base.
Well, that's good. Yeah, we definitely want to get them energized so they're real excited about the games, and the tickets start to sell more.
So what would you say is an average for a season ticket right now?
What's the average price?
Yes.
I don't know if I'm necessarily the guy to ask for that. I've been in the same seats for a long time now. I think, it depends if you're talking about the General Bowl or the club section. I think the General Bowl, the average is probably right around, $50 a game, 50 or so.
Yeah, that ain't.
Oh, not at all.
No, yeah, you can get seats in the upper deck for I think around $40 a game. So $400 for the season. It's not bad at all.
Yeah, exactly, and it doesn't matter if you're in the front or in the back row. The fact that you're there is what matters.
Excellent, yeah, because my son and I both had already gotten Jags jerseys. We had to have them. Even our bunny has one.
So
absolutely. It's there's really not a bad seat in the house either, so it doesn't matter where you sit.
Exactly. So, what made you all think about creating the Bold City Brigade and everything? What made it to the point of that this had to be done? To expand the excitement in the field and everything.
Really the impetus for it was, it's kind of born out of the, like I said, kind of the dark ages is what we kind of call it. I know a lot of the fans, the last 6, 7, 8 years, it was funny because as crowds kind of started to dwindle a little bit, or you began to see a transition from a lot of the fans that maybe were really excited when the team got here, and that were really pumped up, and then obviously the franchise had so much success in the beginning that those fans they started to kind of fall off as the franchise hit hard times, and really over the last 3 or 4 years, what you've seen is when you walk around Everbank Field on game day, you see that the average age of the people attending the games has really gone down. I mean, there's a lot of young people there, and with that, there's a lot of energy. So our idea for the group was, basically just saying, okay, the energy's there, and all these young people are there, but there's really no direction for them. What can we do? What can we put together to try and harness that energy and kind of point it in the right direction and give people the forum to come together and express how passionate they are, because like I said, it's a pretty powerful thing. You really, I've said it on numerous occasions on other outlets, that you really only get one chance as a franchise, as a city, with that first generation of fans that grew up with the team. So that's really what we're trying to do. We're trying to take that first generation, which we're all a part of, and we're trying to do something special with it, and build something for the long term.
Okay.
Oh, okay, yeah. I've got a question for you. Did you watch the draft this year?
Did I watch the draft?
Yes.
Yes, actually, I was at the draft. I've been a couple years in a row now, and the Bold City Brigade took about 50 people up this year to the draft in New York City. So yeah, I watched it for sure. I was there.
That's awesome. What did you think of our draft picks?
I liked them a lot. It was nice to come away from a draft and be excited and be energized about it, and have some belief behind what the direction that it seemed like the front office was taking the team. I think at first a lot of people were kind of iffy about taking a tackle number 2 overall, drafting Luke Jokel. But once you kind of saw the rest of the draft come together, you started to say, okay, I see the plan here, I see what's going on, and we were all really excited. It was a great time. I think a good time was had by everyone that went on the trip, and it's looking like it's going to be possibly an annual thing that we put together. So
that's absolutely awesome.
Yeah, because I was really excited when I watched the draft pick. At first, I was sitting there going, wait a minute, we need a quarterback. Why didn't we pick a quarterback? But like you said, as you watched it, you got the idea of why they were doing it. what their ideas were.
Do you think, this is a long shot, but do you think there's any chance that if things don't pan like we're expecting it this year, that Robinson could get a shot actually at quarterback?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. I think honestly, if I had to, hitch my wagon to anything, I think what they're basically doing, like you guys just said, I think they're really looking at next year for a quarterback, and so I think they really are just going to let it play out with one of the couple of guys who's on the roster, whether it be Blaine or Chad or, they just brought in another guy today, Mike Kafka, who knows, but they're just going to kind of let this thing play out, take their time. Schaub's giving them plenty of time, to build this thing the right way. So, but everything that I'm hearing and seeing, they want to get Denard as many touches as possible, but he's not going to be, he's not going to be back there regularly taking snaps and running the offense. But he's an exciting player. I know that they really like him more from a running back standpoint. That's what Tony Khan spoke a lot about. His value and how he kind of fits, a specific role in the backfield for us. So yeah, I'd be really, really surprised if at any point he ended up, starting at quarterback.
Well, he did have better stats in college than Michael Vick, but, I mean, he's just a different quarterback than what we're seeing right now.
Yeah,
but he's not going to be a quarterback like you stated. He's going to be the running back, but do you think he could be the third down back like Mojo was for Taylor?
Yeah, I think it's going to be, I don't think it's going to be I think, honestly, if they have a third down back, it's probably going to be Justin Forsett, just because from a protection standpoint, Denard's still kind of, he's not the biggest guy, and obviously, learning how to block on third down for the quarterback and learning those protections, that's not something that he's really in tune with yet, having played quarterback for so long. I think the role for him is really going to be a guy that they move him around a lot. You might see him line up in the Wildcat. You might see him line up, out in the slot, and then come in motion and take a jet sweep and take that downfield, or he might run up. They might line up both him and Mojo in the backfield at the same time. They're going to get really creative with him. I think you see him get 10 to 15 touches a game maybe. Might be a little swing pass out of the backfield, but yeah, that's kind of going to be his role from everything I can gather.
I bet you had a sign of relief after hearing Tebow's going to New England.
Yeah, you know what, man? I honestly, I think that the Jaguars kind of made their intentions and their feelings on it. They made it pretty clear, so I really haven't lost any sleep over it. Since kind
Neither have I.
Yeah, I haven't lost any sleep over it, so it's just kind of like, well, okay, there he goes to New England, and good luck, and maybe something come out of it for him up there, but we got too many positive things going on down here to keep worrying about that.
I have a good question for you. Is everyone in your house Jags fans?
Oh yeah, actually, my wife and I met at a Jaguars game. And
wow!
Yeah, we met at a Jaguars game, and then I have a 2-year-old son, and his obviously he doesn't really have a choice in the matter. So
that's true. Well, the reason we asked that question was because the lady my brother was married to had teenage boys. Plus, he had a teenage boy and younger boys. They were 8 at the time, I think, and they all liked different teams. My brother and and his one son liked the Jets. His other sons liked another two different teams. His wife liked another team. His step-sons liked their own team.
Right. And somebody liked Colts. Grr.
Yeah, one of them liked the Colts, and I was like, oh well, what are you gonna do?
Of course.
Yeah, I'm not big on division rivals, but that's from being a fan since '95.
Exactly.
I just started becoming a fan when I met him, but I love the Jags, and I have a lot of hope for them, and I believe in them. I think they're going to do good this year.
I got a serious question for you. How's your stance on Justin Blackman right now?
In regards to what, as far as his indiscretions and everything like that,
as far as his extracurricular activities.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of is what it is at this point. I mean, I think it's obvious that the guys made a lot of questionable decisions and choices, and I think everybody around here just kind of hopes that he can get his life together and stay on the straight and narrow at least enough to be able to suit up every Sunday and not put himself in danger or put the team in bad positions like obviously he has for the first four games of the season. And I don't really concern myself too much with what guys do off the field. I mean, as long as they show up and they play hard on Sunday and they give it all while they're out there, wearing our colors. I'm usually I usually kind of reserve my opinion on that kind of stuff. But obviously he's a unique situation, and I just hope that, like I said, I hope he can get it together, because he's an exciting player. He's an important piece long term for us, hopefully, and but obviously with something like that, only time will tell.
Do you think he could end up a better receiver than Shorts?
I don't know. I think they're kind of two different receivers. I think that it works out really well. I think they complement each other pretty well. Blackman's really good over the middle and after the catch, and obviously Cecil has that deep speed and that game breaking speed. So it's a nice little 1-2 punch, and they're starting to kind of fill in around him with some other guys in the slot and backing him up and things like that. So I've actually been out to a few of the practices, and it's nice to look at the wide receiver core and say, wow, I kind of like what we have there. I like 3, 4, 5 of these guys. And, that's a far cry from where we were a couple of years ago when we were sending a bunch of no-name guys out there.
How is Sanders developing?
He looks good. He was hurt. He was hurt early on in the rookie mini camp. They were holding him out a little bit. He's just kind of getting out there in the groove, getting into things, and he's fast. That's the one thing you can tell when you're out there at the practices, and is that they've certainly upgraded the team speed. In one off season, so that's nice, and I think that's kind of going to be the goal going forward for the next few years to come, is continue upgrading the speed and the athleticism. And so I think Sanders is one part of that. He's got to see where his niche is. I think he's going to really challenge for the punt return role, and any other snaps that he sees in the slot or as a receiver will kind of be up to how he produces and how he looks in the preseason, I think.
Well, that's good. I mean, I have a lot of hope for them to do good, this year, because, I want to see, him come back from injury now that he's back. Well, I should say now that he's back from injury. I want to see him get on the field and really just start to really, show his stuff, so everybody out there could see what our team could really do.
Yeah, it would help.
We can get that, fan base back up there.
Yeah, it would help to have an electrifying punt returner too. We haven't had that in forever.
Yeah, it's been forever and a couple of days, really. That's kind of what they're looking at. I know they've had Bernard out there quite a bit too, fielding some kickoffs and kind of trying to get him used to that. Like I said, they really want to just get the ball in his hands and kind of what we talked about a little bit. It's just nice to finally have some playmakers and have some team speed and some guys that potentially could break a big play. So
yeah, there's a lot of talk about Cyprian.
Yeah, Jonathan Cyprian. He's going to be a stud. Yeah, you got to watch out for him. He's going to be a really good one. So I think at this point, I feel pretty confident in saying that he's going to be a really good player. So now we just hope that he stays healthy long term and he can be a great, and you can really tell watching him out at practice that he's a guy who just loves playing football, and that's nice. It's good to see, and on top of that, he's a freak athlete too. So big things will probably be coming from him this year.
So you're thinking him maybe like a Darius?
I think he's got better range than Donovan did in coverage, but what they're doing with him is they're really in Gus Bradley's system, he's playing the strong safety. Really plays a lot in the box. So he can do that. He's a big, strong guy. You see him. He looks like he's almost the same size as Geno Hayes, the linebacker that they brought in. He's not real tall, but he's built. He's absolutely built like a brick house. So but they're gonna move him all around. They do that a lot with the safeties, but he's gonna be up there and run support quite a bit, just like Darius was. But he's also a guy who can go out there and can cover guys in the slot. He can cover guys on the outside. He's got tremendous range. I mean, he's made some plays where he just comes out of nowhere and gets the ball. So he's going to be a good one.
What's your opinion on Leo this year?
Who I think the Leos will be?
Well, I mean, do you think our pass rush will improve due to the fact that we're changing up on things, such as the Leo?
Yeah, I think it'll improve a little bit. I think a lot of that obviously now kind of hinges on what happens with Jason Babin. How quickly he comes back from the surgery, but I think that it's a role that suits him pretty well, and he obviously played pretty well when he came over last year. So Andre Branch looks really good out there. I know that they like him a lot. They're excited about him, but he still has to kind of prove that he can be that. So you might have your two Leos right there. I think the defensive line play is going to be improved all the way across the board, though, just because I like a lot of the guys they brought in. So Derek Marks, Roy Miller, and then the two guys they just got, Dedrick and Love that they got from the Patriots a couple of weeks ago. All four of those guys are just, I think they're really solid tackles, and they all have a role to play on the team. I think, so I think the pass rush, I think it'll be affected by a couple things. It'll be affected by the new scheme, like you said. I think that new scheme was going to bring a little bit more pass rush maybe than others in the past, and then also I think, some of the players that they've brought in, probably fit that scheme pretty well. So I think it'll be better. I don't think it's going to be anything where we're out there, leading the league in sacks, but I think it'll be better.
Well, that's good. I want to know, what kind of events do you guys have planned for the year?
Well, we just did a huge charity event 2 weekends ago. We just did a big charity event, and now we're kind of transitioning into planning for the season, like you said. So we always do a season kickoff party, so that'll be sometime before the season starts. We're kind of trying to plan that out right now, and then from there we do a huge tailgate for every home game. We get together and host viewing parties for every away game, and we've got a couple of away game trips planned. We got a big trip planned to Nashville later on. Yeah.
Where are you planning on the away games, the trips?
Well, our kind of part of one of our goals and missions is to always have one official away game trip for the group every season. So this season it's looking like it's probably going to be Nashville, which is in November. So that we got that one, and then the unique thing about our group now is as it's kind of growing rapidly, it's becoming a really good way for people to network with Jags fans, which is, obviously makes us extremely happy and fulfilled that we're able to provide that for people, because now you're starting to see a lot of people that are planning their away game trips, and they're kind of talking to other people and saying, hey, well, you're going to that game? Well, we should sit together. We should do this. So I know that there's a pretty good-sized group of us that's most likely going out to Seattle, too. So, yeah, it's I'm sure there'll be some Bold City Brigade members at almost every game this season, away game.
That's great. What would if somebody wanted to work for the Bold City Brigade, what would they have to do in order to apply for a job with Bold City Brigade?
There is no actual job or application or anything. We're a nonprofit, grassroots. We're actually a registered nonprofit. We are incorporated. I guess technically we're a real business, quote unquote. But no, there are no positions to be had. It's everyone that holds a position within the group. We're kind of founding members and the people that helped us get going. It's like I said, it's 100% nonprofit. None of us make any money off it or anything like that.
So it's not a judgmental group or anything of that sort either.
Did you say a judgmental group?
Yeah, I mean, as far as, other than you have to be a Jag fan.
Well, obviously.
Oh, no, yeah. Yeah, no, it's, it's no frills. It's, we've always kind of said from the beginning, no egos involved. It's, as long as you're a diehard Jaguar fan and, you want to join a group that passionately supports and, unapologetically supports the Jaguars, you're more than welcome to, join up with us. So it's, there's no real...
Yeah, because I see it really expanding. I mean, I've heard of, a group starting out in New York and, out in Orlando and all over.
Mhm. Yeah, we've got 4 official chapters already, and we've got about 6 other ones that are in the process of trying to get up to official status. So by the time the season comes around, I imagine we'll probably have 9 or 10 official chapters outside of the city of Jacksonville. So.
Well,
that's great.
That's amazing because, you don't really, you have advertising, through word of mouth and everything, but it's not like you're on, like, every radio station and TV station in the world,
Right, yeah, no, absolutely. It's a lot of it is spread through social media.
Yeah, and that's the amazing thing about social media today, how far, somebody could go and how far, it can reach.
Exactly.
Yep. That's our group is really the backbone of everything we do. Really is social media. So
what do you think about the guy from UConn? The new cornerback. Do you think he has the potential to end up like Cox? I'm not saying like Mathis because that's a pretty unachievable thing right now.
Yeah, he's a different player. I think he's going to be good. I think I think he's definitely going to be good. He's got the potential to be really good. So we'll kind of see. But what he is he's the prototypical cornerback for Gus Bradley's system. He's a bigger corner, long arms. He's a press man guy. So he's going to get up on the line of scrimmage and jam the wide receiver, and he's strong enough to knock him off his route. And he's looked really good out there. I know they're pretty high on both him and Cyprian. So, I think he's got the potential to be a good one. Obviously, it's still so early; it's hard to say. But he's a different type of corner than Rasheen, and really he's kind of similar in a way to Derek Cox, but much more physical than Derek ever was.
Okay, and I know you're busy and whatnot. I just have a few more questions. If somebody was on the fence. Left their team and was deciding on, a new team, what would you tell them why to become a Jags fan out of all the teams out there?
I don't know that I've ever been asked that question. I think that, I think as fans we kind of all come to a team and become fans of a team for our own reasons. And, whether that be, you just catch the fever when the team's doing well or something that you identify with the team. I know that for a lot of Jaguars fans, what we identify, other than the obvious stuff like the city that we all love and we're passionate about, we identify with it because, that being a small market franchise, we, being fans that are located here, we kind of all got a little bit of a chip on our shoulder, we catch a lot of flack. So, but it's, I guess, I hesitate to ever sell it. Be a fan if you want to be a fan, but I think one of the coolest parts about being a Jaguar fan right now is just being a part of everything we talked about earlier as far as the first generation of fans and really kind of, this right now is when a lot of the traditions are being built that, will probably outlast all of us. So, it's really neat to be a part of something so new and something that you can affect a lot of change in. If you're a Redskins fan or an Eagles or a Giants fan, there's not a whole lot you can do to start traditions and really leave your mark on a franchise or a fan base. But since we're so new still, a lot of that's available. So that's a unique thing. It's a cool thing to be a part of.
It is a cool thing. Plus, you really have to have the love and the passion for your team and really want to be out there and, root for your team, whether they're doing good or they're doing bad or whatever the case might be, you know, because that's your team.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, no doubt. That's what it's all about, you know. That is what it's all about.
Okay, and one last thing. We're just curious. We'd like to know a little more, if you can elaborate a little more. You said that you met your old lady, you know, at a Jags game.
Uh-huh.
Were you both, like, you know, diehard fans, or how did this come about, if you don't mind?
No, we both were definitely, you know, fans. Actually, when we met, she had her own season tickets, so that was obviously that was a pretty cool thing. That was a check in the cool box for me. And we actually met at a tailgate that I wasn't even supposed to go to. I just ended up hitching a ride down to the game with a few buddies, and they were, you know, stopping by this tailgate, and, you know, got to talking, and, you know, one thing led to another, and, you know, here we are 7 years later, and, you know, that's...
So what would you say is your magical moment with her, as far as in the game, that you all shared together?
Well, you know, we didn't go to the game that day to get that day to, you know, we didn't sit together or anything. We just talked a little bit before the tailgate, you know, during the tailgate, and then after the game, I ended up going back to that tailgate again, and that's when we, you know, talked a lot and made plans to get together, and you know, I don't know, it was just something, man. You know, we both kind of were checking each other out, and you know, and after a few beers during the game, had that liquid courage going, and you know, just went.
Go.
And we've you know, we've been together since, and I couldn't be happier. And it's nice to be able to share that with you know, with your spouse, and now to be able to. And her family goes to the games, my family goes to the games, so you know, it's a big family thing. And then, you know, now we're bringing my son up as a big Jaguar fan too. So.
That's awesome. I mean, you know, it is nice when the old lady and the old man can, pardon the expression, but can, you know, both agree on the same team and root for the same team together, because it is a lot of fun for us. Like, we sit there, we watch games as a family. It'll be him and I and our son, and he's 13, and, you know, we're trying to bring him up a Jags fan.
Exactly. That's the only way to be, in my opinion.
Yep.
Well, you know.
Go ahead.
No, that's it. I couldn't agree more. It's in the fall is what we do. It's what we do for fun. And, you know, before we had my son, it was you know, it was our time to go party and have a good time, and you know, and enjoy all those festivities. And now even more so now, it's kind of during the fall, it's my wife and I's day to kind of get away and, you know, and do our thing and have a good time, and you know, relax and under the umbrella of the team that we both enjoy. So and then as my son gets a little older, he'll have his own ticket, and it'll become even more of a family thing.
Okay, one last thing, because I know you're busy. What do you realistically see this year as far as the goal for the Jaguars, as far as winning, and how far we can actually get?
You know, it's funny that you asked me that, because it's something that I really, like, honestly, for the past 4 or 5 months, it's something that I've given very, very, very little thought to, just because of the fact that I'm so wrapped up in the process right now. I'm enjoying finally having some direction with the team, and I'm finally, you know, I'm enjoying, you know, or at least having the direction that you know, we can wrap our minds around, and that, you know, we can kind of see happening and get excited about. So you know, it was the first really clean break we've ever had, with a new GM, new coach all at once. So the excitement of that hasn't worn off for me, and just seeing all the decisions that they're making and the way that they're trying to go about building this thing the right way. I haven't, and I'm not even, you know, I'm not lying to you whatsoever. It hasn't, you know, I haven't put a whole lot of thought into it. And on top of that, everything that we're doing with the Bold City Brigade, there's just so much excitement and energy. I don't know if there's ever been this much excitement, this much energy around a 2-14 team ever. But the fan base is energized. You know, our members, almost 700 members strong. Everybody is just so excited for the season. And we know that we're probably not going to be very good. So, but we're, you know, we love Jaguars football, and it's what we do. And we're excited to have another season to go out there and do it and keep building what we're doing. And you know, we got faith that, better days are ahead.
Yeah, exactly. It's a rebuilding team, and, sometimes it's just about the love of the game.
Yep, and it must be nice to have the job doing what you love most, your Jags, I mean, that's the way I look at it because, we love the Jags, and that's, something I know you've got to enjoy going to work every day.
I mean, if you look at our logo alone, it's a picture of the Jaguar holding a clock from 1995,
Yeah, absolutely. No, and believe me, actually, this isn't my real job. I do have a job that actually pays the bills. So although it kind of has morphed into a second full-time job, or at least a part-time job at this point, it's not one that I benefit off of, other than the satisfaction of what we're doing and the fun.
Yeah, but sometimes the satisfaction of what you do and outweighs the pay.
Is enough alone.
Yeah. Well, absolutely. And
to quit your job or anything.
No,
it's always good to have something to love.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's just finding that balance of the job that actually pays the bills, and then the one that I really enjoy doing. So, but it's a good problem.
Exactly. Well, thank you, Capp, for coming on Teal Time Radio and joining us for a little while today. We really appreciate having you, and
we really enjoyed having you on the show, and we look forward to hopefully maybe having you on again because it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, we really enjoyed it, and it brought a lot of knowledge about what's going on in the city of Jacksonville and your family, as well.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it, guys, and anytime for some diehard Jaguars, the Jaguar fans, and thanks for the interest in our group and for having me on. You guys have a good night.
You as well.
Too.
Okay, take
care.
Bye.
Good night.
All right. Well, we're just joined by Capp.
It was very exciting. We enjoyed talking to him. He's a very nice man.
That was a fantastic interview.
Yes, it was.
If anyone, has any more opinions or thoughts on, what Capp said, or just want to talk Jaguars, the number's 917-889-7873. If not, we understand a lot of people are going to, download the show and everything
Exactly. I'm sure a lot of people are sleeping because, they have to work, unfortunately, so they can't be up this late because some people have to get up real early.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I could have talked for hours and hours with them, but I mean, there has to be a point of, you have a guest on, you got to let them have the spotlight. You can't just be selfish.
Exactly. And we just enjoyed, hearing what he had to say. He had a lot of exciting things to tell us, and it's exciting to talk to somebody that's actually met the Jaguars. Because, boy, would I love to be in his shoes and meet all the Jaguars and shake everybody's hand. I know our son would definitely like to meet Blackman because he would shake Blackman's hand because that's his favorite player.
No, Maurice Jones-Drew is his favorite player. My favorite player currently is Justin Blackman. That's right.
Yours is Blackman. His is Maurice Jones-Drew. That's right. I got that mixed up. That's what happens when it gets late at night,
Yeah. Well, I mean, nobody, is going to harp on you for it.
No. But, I mean, we each, everybody has their own, certain player that they love, that they're their favorite player.
We love that, a member of the, BCB came on. We'd love for, other members to come on another time and, share their stories. I was absolutely fascinated by,
all of what Capp had to say. I mean, he had a lot of great topics that, he brought to our attention of things we didn't know. I mean, a lot of people that listen to the show don't know what BCB stand for.
Yeah, the Bold City Brigade.
Right, but they didn't know that. They didn't know exactly what their franchise did, what they were about, and he explained it to us, and that was very interesting to hear. It made me want to run out if I lived in Miami. Oh, boy.
Did you say Miami again?
Jacksonville.
I swear.
No, I was thinking about Miami because I was thinking about my cousin where she lives near there. Anyways, but, if I lived out in Jacksonville, boy, I'd be the first one out there wanting to join the Bold City Brigade.
And what's funny is we may end up relocating out to Tennessee, and if we did, we'd actually be at the same game out in Nashville.
That would be neat. That would be neat to shake Capp's hand.
I mean, we may end up in Florida too. We another option was Kissimmee or however you pronounce it. Kissimmee, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, Florida.
So.
You know, to be out by Jacksonville, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
The thing that really amazed me out of the whole time, and it's nothing against the BCB. I love what they're doing. I love how they're doing events, how they're doing tailgates and everything, as Capp said. But the thing that really amazed me was the fact that he met his old lady, you know, at
during
a game.
During the tailgate. But still, that's fantastic. I mean, that's cool. I mean, you know, that's a real, true love. You know, when you find two people that love the same team, or, you know, they have something like that they're very passionate about like that.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, that's what it's about.
Yep.
That's what it's about. You know, the BCB is, you know, saying, okay, well, yeah, we may not win a boatload of games. However, we're going to have fun, and we're going to enjoy it, and we're going to be excited.
And we're going to do the best that we can as far as our players, not, you know, well.
No, they have no control as far as what
that's
happens.
what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is our team is going to go out there, and they're going to do the best they can, and they're going to, you know. Yeah,
they're going to be the 12th man on the field.
Exactly. I don't care if the Jags do good or not. I still love them. They're still my favorite team.
I want them to do good.
I do too. But what I'm saying is my love for the team doesn't go by how good they do.
Exactly.
It goes by my love for the team.
And I may disagree with certain things, like I'm not a huge Henny fan, and I really think we should have, you know, grabbed a quarterback or, you know, something of the sort. But the way he was explaining it and everything, saying, okay, yeah, now we got bookend tackles, you know, to protect the quarterback and, you know, Blaine some extra time and let's see what he can do. I did do a little segment about that a long time ago.
Yeah, but you know what? Now I think we have more understanding by talking to Capp exactly what their plan is for the team, and now we can understand more why they picked what they picked. Or who they picked, I should say. And
notice when it came to the whole Teal thing, it's like, I'm not losing sleep over it.
Yeah.
Let them go bug New England.
Yep.
Exactly. I mean, there's a backstory. I don't know if you know about it. Okay. There's a backstory. Ever since, you know, Tebow, you know, left, you know, the Gators and came to the NFL, he was originally, you know, by all the media experts, you know, and of course Korn saying that he loved them and whatnot, was going to be selected by the Jags.
Right.
And then every time he has this stint, everybody says, well, he's got to go to Jacksonville because he's the hometown hero. And, you know, he's got great religious beliefs and everything. But the fact of the matter is the new, you know, coach in Gus Bradley and the new GM in Dave Caldwell know that he just can't play quarterback.
Well, you know what? Tim Tebow, as far as he goes, I don't think it has anything to do with him being hometown hero or him being so religious. You can be the most religious person on earth. You can be the biggest hometown hero. Doesn't mean you're going to go out there and play football the right way.
Yeah,
be the best for our team.
He's not. He's just not a quarterback.
We got to do what we've got to do for our team to get our team on track, so we can start winning games.
I watched
and bringing back the fan base.
I watched 4 or 5 games and where he played. Okay, and this was, you know, years back.
Yeah.
Okay? And they were just the most boring games I've ever seen in my life. It was like 55 minutes of garbage. He couldn't throw. He couldn't get near the receivers. Things would end up in the dirt. The ball would end up in the dirt. I mean, it was just absolutely trash.
I watched him play when he played for the Jets. He didn't impress me, not at all. Not in the least bit.
So.
But then when I sat and watched, when they were showing bits and pieces for our different players, when they were doing the picks, the draft picks, I was impressed by quite a few of them.
Yes,
you know?
I was. Yes, I certainly was as well. They could have went different directions. Like they, you know, could have went defensive end in the first round. and they could have went a lot of different ways, but I don't hate them for grabbing a tackle, because when you have a terrible line that was built like a Swiss cheese factory, it helps to put some more pieces in there.
Exactly. Well, not only that, but I think when they when I watched the draft, I didn't understand why they picked who they picked. But I think once Capp explained it to us, it made me understand a lot more of what was, their idea as far as who they picked and everything and why.
And when we did our draft day coverage, and we totally bombed. I'm not gonna, go a different way. We weren't prepared.
No, we weren't. It was our first draft. I mean, your first draft, you're gonna bomb because it's your first.
Yeah. It was the first one doing it on the radio. We just were not prepared. We didn't know what was going on, and I actually had to work a bunch of, extra time at work and everything, and I just didn't have, in my other job, and just didn't have time.
No, so I mean, next year when the draft comes, we'll do better.
Yeah, and we're not just going to talk about pizza.
Yeah, ordering pizza on the line. Yeah, that made a lot of sense.
But you know what? At least we can laugh about it and say, well,
true.
Yeah, we screwed up. Things happen.
But you know what? People probably looked at it and said, well, that was their first draft coverage. They didn't know what they were doing. I'm sure if you asked, Capp or any of the other people when they first started Bold City Brigade, I'm sure they'll tell you, hey, we've made our fair share of mistakes.
Yeah, everybody makes mistakes.
And I'm sure, when the Jags first started, they made their fair share of mistakes. It's just part of life.
And we're still making mistakes because we're rebuilding.
Exactly. But, that's part of the rebuild process.
And the reason I asked about, the season was just to see the, the reaction and whatnot. Not to, say, okay, well, we're going to stink this year. That's not my intentions. No. The whole thing was, to see, okay, when he said that he really wasn't concerned about it, because it's about building a tradition. Building a foundation. That's why he was mentioning like the Giants and teams like that, or Green Bay or whatever, that already have a big tradition.
Exactly. Yep.
They're trying to build that, and I believe on the old saying, if you build it, they will come.
It will, and it will happen, as our team builds and gets bigger and better, we will have more fans, and we will have, things will get better for us. And I believe that our team, is trying their hardest and working their, to do their best in playing, and they work hard, It's not easy playing football. For one, I give them a lot of credit, all of them. Especially
today's NFL, because if you go back 10, 20 years, what Blackman did was nothing. Was absolutely nothing. I'm sorry. Back in the 70s, 60s, 80s, everybody was either doing some kind of drug or, getting in fights or whatever.
Or drinking, or they were using steroids or whatever. What Blackman did was no big deal.
In my eyes, it's not. It's not
you know what? He's a young guy. He made a mistake, and that's.
Well, he made two, but
but
still.
So what? Still, he's a young guy. Young people are meant to make mistakes. That's how we learn in life. And if every time he makes a mistake, if you're going to say, well, you did this and you did that and you made this mistake, you know what? Stop, talking, you did this wrong. So what? He did something wrong. So when he made two mistakes, you know what? Instead of judging the guy, why don't you just really judge him on his football, not on his mistakes?
Yeah, exactly.
Is he there to play football, or is he there to, tell everybody about his life?
I mean, if he was, telling the fan base to go screw themselves, and I'm not going to do this, and I'm not going to do, that's one thing.
Yeah,
but because the dude decides to go out drinking with his buddies out, you're going to criticize. Come on,
really? Like none of you have ever gone out, drinking when you were young and acted stupid or did something stupid. I mean, come on, he's a young guy, What do you expect?
I mean, think of all the teams back in the days, the old Raiders, the old, just the teams that, the old Vikings and whatnot. a lot of teams, back in the day would do all kinds of things. You wouldn't have had the monsters that you originally did back in the day if they were all choir boys. I'm sorry, you wouldn't have.
No, I mean, back in the day, I don't want to say all, but a majority of the teams, the guys were on steroids and other things and recreational drugs and everything else. I mean, that's just the way it was back in the day, and nobody ever reported on them. Nobody ever, got on their case. I'd say just leave Blackman alone. He made a couple of mistakes, big deal.
Well,
he's still a good player. I think he'll get out there and he'll work hard, and you know what? He's going to prove everybody that he is a good player.
I think the suspension was unlawful, in my opinion. You don't suspend somebody for 4 games because they missed a substance abuse thing. They act like he was a crackhead or something.
I know, really. He went out drinking. He didn't go out doing drugs. He went out drinking. Hello, how's that substance? Oh, because it's alcohol? Big deal. Come on.
And people don't know his backstory. It could have been, the fact of, he was out with all his friends, and his friends were like, okay, well, you're a millionaire. I'm not going to give you a ride.
Yeah, or it could have been, hey, maybe, something, maybe one of the guys got engaged or got married or is getting married, and maybe they were out celebrating, and maybe, they made a mistake and they just did a little too much celebrating.
Yeah, maybe the designated driver got drunk, too. Yeah. That happens.
That happens. That
happens quite a bit.
There's times when you go out and somebody will say, oh, well, I'll be designated driver. And then they start drinking because they're having a good time with the rest of the boys.
Yeah, or they meet a nice girl or whatever the case may be.
And they're trying to show off for the girl because she's pretty or she's cute or she's this or that.
Or trying to get liquid courage, as Capp said.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes that's what it takes. What are you going to do,
As far as my predictions right now, if we win 5-6 games, I'm cool with it. I really am. As long as we show improvement, as long as we show that we can actually score, I'm all about it. I just can't stand a game where we just can't ever score. You cannot keep a defense on the field 3/4 of a game. You're not going to win games that way. You're just not.
Right. You have the right people in the right places. And like Capp said, they're moving certain people around. I'm sure they're still trying to get a feel for who's good in what position,
Exactly.
As far as moving the few players around. Hey, if you're not good in one position, maybe you're good in another. I think that's cool.
Exactly. And sometimes you just want to, find out who works and who doesn't. That's why there's, has been and there's going to be a lot of cuts and, different people coming out because they want people who want to play football, not people that just want a paycheck.
Exactly. It's not about the paycheck. It's about the love of the sport. If you really love the sport, you're going to really play, and you're going to play good.
Exactly. And, I hear all the rumors about, once again, London, but I don't see the Jags going. Yeah, they're going to play a game here, they're going to play a game there, or maybe 2 games here and there, but, they're trying to build an international fan base as well as the local fan base to bring extra revenue in one way or another. That is extra revenue going towards the Jags. And with, great commitments such as the Bold City Brigades, the Teal Street Hooligans.
Yep.
And, various others. And You've got people doing, great, T-shirts and, so merchandise such as Minor Threads clothing.
Right, exactly,
And, just building everywhere. Like Capp said, they've got a bunch of different, chapters and
they plan to have more. Well, not only that, but I don't see them going to London because in London, football is not really a sport there. That's not their sport, I should say.
Football is.
Yeah, but not our football.
No, soccer.
Right, that's what I'm saying. When I say football, I mean our kind of a football. Their football in their country is soccer. That's their sport. That's why I don't see us going there and being a permanent team. Going there and playing a game here and there, I could see that, but not permanently.
Could it build where there's a big enough fan base? Yes, but you're not going to get like a stable fan base from that one area. That's the thing. It's more of, okay, I'm coming from a different country. I don't want to go to the USA, so I'll go to England and watch the game. But they've already tried that, and it failed.
They did?
They've already tried, the whole European League, and the NFL, and it failed. Now, I guess because it's the actual players that Goodell says, okay, I'm going to go back to my home and bring football.
Right.
Quote, unquote, my home.
Right. I mean, no disrespect to him at all. But, I don't see it happening. They don't play American football. Their football is soccer.
Okay, so anyway, we're just going to talk, a few more minutes here. Our buddy Poppy Red Hunter was supposed to come on the show and whatnot, but I guess he had other things going on, which is totally cool.
Yeah, maybe he got busy with what he was doing, No big deal. He can come on the next time, on our show the next time he has a chance. That's how it is.
But join us tomorrow. If you're a South Beach Teal fan, we'll have our interactive discussion. You can come on here. The number's 917-889-7873. So that's something we've never told the people who download our show, and there's hundreds and hundreds, and I think probably thousands now.
Yeah, we'd love to really have you on the show, or listen to the show, whichever.
Exactly. You can call from your home, I'm sure, because most people in the United States
have
long distance. Period. Doesn't matter the carrier between the cell phones, the home phones. Mostly everybody has long distance now.
And everybody pretty much has unlimited long distance because a lot of the companies, that's what they're doing nowadays when you get your service.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll be on at 11 o'clock p.m.
Monday through Thursday.
And then possibly other shows as they line up. Like, for instance, on the 15th, we have this rapper, that local act that's going to join us.
And we're very excited to have him.
Yes, we very are. Manuel. He spelled his name differently. If I mispronounced it, I do apologize. And we have great shows coming. We're just waiting on replies from people back. They've already said yes. We're just waiting on dates here. That's just the bottom line. Join us on Thursday. We have our happy hour. If you party, if you like to, just hear crazy talk, join our happy hour. It's for mature audiences, and we talk about everything under the sun. You'd be surprised all the different things we come up with.
Oh yeah, I mean, if on Thursday night when we do our, our segment, and you've got something funny you want to tell us, or serious, or whatever the case might be, we are more than welcome to come on.
Once again, that number is 917-889-7873. The number stays the same. We'll be here every Monday through Thursday, and then as we announce new shows, too.
Yeah, we may do a weekend show, if, we're going to do where somebody's going to come on and they want to talk, we're going to tell them, have it on a Saturday or maybe a Sunday or a Friday or whatever day they can do it,
And with Blog Talk, we can, at any time, add something. We can do an impromptu show out of the blue. We could be over some friend's house partying and people just want to jump on the air. We don't have to do it from here. That's what separates us. Also, like I explained before, we're going to have many bloggers from many different, types of things, such as video games, music, of course the Jaguars, Lizard Lick, South Beach Toe, and some other things.
And we'll have, of course, like I said, we'll do our different, our bands and, stuff like that. We're real excited to, for our show every day, when it comes on. We can't wait to do it, It's a lot of fun.
If you'd like to advertise, no matter where you're located, about our radio show and make flyers, business cards, whatever, you're welcome to. Just let us know and give us a shout on tealtimeradio@gmail.com.
Exactly. Or, or you need some advertisement for your business. You're more than welcome to call in any time and say, hey, I work at this business, this is what we do, and, get some free advertisement for yourself. We have no problem giving advertisement help, to different small businesses or whatever the case might be.
Exactly, because we're the coolest as far as doing talk shows. We're just the coolest. We're just very laid back. We don't downgrade people, stuff like that.
Exactly. We're like the Bold City Brigade, basically. In other words, we're not judgmental. We want to help any way we can, just like they want to help the team any way they can.
And we accept people no matter who they are,
exactly.
whatever lifestyle you're from, period. And if you missed our E3 thing, we had a little E3 thing yesterday. However, while we were doing the show, we learned that Sony undercut Microsoft by $100 and has no restrictions on used games. So as a long-time Xbox gamer, it makes me think, should I say,
I think we'll
hello,
get back,
Sony?
I think we'll get back to that another time when we do the show on Sony.
Yes, exactly. And just keep tuned to us. We're always expanding, always thinking of new ways to improve this show. And anybody that we bring upon, we're glad that we have Scott Gumbar, who's back helping us.
We're glad to have you, Scott.
As well as we got, Tim Hicks as well doing our web.
Yep. And
we're just very grateful to have the people that are helping out that we can. And when we have the, finances to help them back, we certainly will.
Exactly. I mean, even if, right now, we don't have the finances to pay them, maybe we help them other ways by putting their name up on the show and, kind of broadcasting them out so that other people will hear and maybe use some of their stuff, whether it be, broadcasting or whatever, they decide to do for us, whether it's our writing and you see the show and, they say, hey, we could use someone to do that. Who knows? What's going to happen.
Exactly. But till next time, don't forget to check out tealtimeradio.com. And the main thing is, we're around because of your support. We're around because you want us here, because we matter, because you matter. Period. Thank you for joining us on Teal Time Radio. CT out.
God bless and good night.